She went into her walk-in robe and stared at the row of outfits. Did tonight's celebration call for ruffles or lace? Soft florals or bright prints? Something flowing or something fitted? A dress or a jumpsuit? Usually Rebecca dressed according to mood. One day she'd be a pencil skirt and heels kind of woman. The next day she'd look completely bohemian in colourful floor-length dresses, boots and long, dangly earrings. Hugh would laugh if she told him she had nothing to wear, but the problem tonight was she couldn't quite put her finger on how she felt. She berated herself for leaving this important decision to the last minute. Paige's book launch had been scheduled for months, but then again, until a couple of days ago, Rebecca hadn't known that the launch wouldn't be the only thing they were celebrating. She smiled at the recollection of Solomon arriving on their doorstep, looking handsome as always, but rubbing the back of his neck and blinking as if agitated. "What a lovely surprise," she said to her daughter's boyfriend as she'd opened the door. But then she'd noticed his worried expression and her heart had slammed up to her throat. "Oh, Sol, is everything okay?" For a moment she'd feared something had happened to Paige. He nodded rapidly. "Yes, I think so. I hope so. Can I come in?" "Of course. You know you're always welcome here." Rebecca pulled him into a hug and then ushered him inside. "Can I get you a drink? A beer? Coffee? Milo?" At that point, Hugh had poked his head into the hallway from the living room. "Sol, mate. Good to see you. Is Paige with you?" No, she's, Solomon, always confident and well-spoken, seemed at a loss for words. "She's teaching one of her art classes tonight, honey," Rebecca informed her husband. "Right. Well, to what do we owe the pleasure?" Hugh liked Solomon too. Occasionally the two of them went to a footy game together. Thankfully they both barracked for the Swans. But those occasions were always pre-arranged, and Rebecca couldn't remember another time Sol had arrived on their doorstep unannounced, and without their daughter. Solomon shoved his hands into his pockets and cleared his throat. "I know Paige and I haven't been going out for that long. Haven't you?" Hugh frowned. "Feels like a bloody long time to me." Rebecca smiled. "Almost 2 years." Solomon nodded. "And I know I'm a bit older than her." "Oh, only a few years," Rebecca said. This time Hugh chuckled. "I'm 13 years older than Rebecca, and we've done all right. Haven't we, love?" "Let the boy speak," she said tersely, her heart suddenly light and impatient, as she guessed what Solomon was about to say. Or rather, ask. "Well, the bottom line is, you know how much I adore your daughter. She's my best friend, and also my—" Solomon paused a moment. "Well, the absolute best person I know. I want to marry her, and I was hoping you'd give us your blessing." Rebecca had burst into tears, happy ones, and yanked Solomon into another hug. Of course the answer was yes. Not that she believed he needed their permission, but she couldn't help thinking it sweet that he'd come seeking it. Within seconds she felt Hugh wrapping his arms around them both, and when he spoke, she could tell he was all choked up as well. "I didn't think blokes still came to the parents first, but I appreciate you thinking of us, Sol." Solomon let out a relieved chuckle and the three of them disentangled. She might not say yes, but his big grin told them he was positive she would. And Rebecca was confident too. Until Solomon, Paige hadn't had any serious relationships, although there'd been plenty of boys chasing her. She was far more interested in pursuing her art and going into bat for the disadvantaged. But from the moment Paige met Sol, she was a goner. They were perfect together. Not only did they make a striking couple, but they shared the same values, made each other laugh. And you only had to look at them to see the chemistry between them. Rebecca could always tell when they'd just had sex. It took a good while after for Paige's post-coital glow to diminish, and she felt such satisfaction and contentment that her daughter had a beautiful sex life. She supposed most mothers didn't like